Hey guys, Chris the Midwest Bass Hunter. Today I'm going to show you some umbrella rigs that I got. Alright guys, so umbrella rigs. I started fishing some umbrella rigs just really this year. It's something I wanted to try actually for smallmouth because of how competitive smallmouth are. So this is one that I bought and I've caught some fish on. And this rig is great, but as you can see, it's really big. Like, this rig is big. It's quite long. I don't know, it's a foot long. And it's a big rig. It works good. This has got 3 hooks on it, and then it's got 2 hitchhikers, and then it's got 4 blades, and it's got like a minnow head type, front of the bait where everything's tied together. So this works great, and I wanted to have some more compact A-rigs or umbrella rigs, whatever you want to call them. These are actually, they have some different names for these. I'll show them to you here in a minute, but I wanted something more compact. And honestly, I don't really like that minnow head being on the front of the bait. It's really not, I don't really think it's beneficial. I guess maybe it just disguises the front of the bait and looks like a fish or something, but I just think maybe it's a distraction from the rest of the bait. So I was looking for what's out there. I don't know anything about Alabama rigs, so I really don't have any experience with them, so I just started looking. I looked on Tackle Warehouse, and I found some rigs called G rigs. There's a company called G-Funk Baits, and after I looked at these a little bit, I realized there's a guy named Jason Barafka. He's from California, and him and his buddy, they started this company and make these rigs. So I live in the Midwest. I live in Nebraska. In Nebraska, you can have 2 hooks on your A-rig, and I fish a lot in Iowa and South Dakota. Iowa has 2 hooks. South Dakota is 3 hooks. So I need to get some baits with 2 and 3 hooks is what I was looking for. So I found this rig. The first one I'm going to show you is called the Desert Camo rig. And this is a 2-blade, so it's got 2, or I shouldn't say 2-blade. It's a 2-hook rig. It's got 2 spots for jig heads, and then it has 3 hitchhikers. You can see the 3 hitchhikers. 5 wires, and 1 in the middle is short because it doesn't have a hook. The 2 longer ones are at the bottom. Those are where your hooks are going to go, and then 2 shorter wires up top. Obviously, it's going to run like that with your weight from your jig heads being on the bottom. The other thing about these rigs is this. The front of the rig is not like a minnow head. So here's the minnow head, and here's this. It's actually, I don't know, it's got some shrink tube on it, and the wires are all joined inside of that. And then on the front it has a swivel. So if you look at the difference in size, this rig is really big. It's, the longest wire on this rig is probably, ow, there's a hook there. That's probably, the longest wire is probably 10 inches. The longest wire on this is maybe 5 or 6. It's a lot shorter, more compact. The reason I want a shorter and more compact one, it's just easier to fish it. It's a lot, a lot easier to throw it, a lot easier to store it. It's just easier. So, but I still want to take advantage of the, competitiveness of smallmouth bass. I'll fish these for largemouth as well, but that's really what I was looking for in fishing with the rigs. So here's this one, and like I said, here's that same version with blades, and I've actually rigged this up. I've got 2 1/4 ounce. Yeah, these are 1/8 ounce Strike King Squadron jig heads. And then on those, I have some 3.75 inch paddle tails. And then these are 3.3 inch paddle tails. So, and then there's 4 blades in there. This is the same rig without the blades. So, as you can see, the size difference is quite a bit. So, this is more compact and, you know, a lot easier to manage this bait than this bait. Although this bait's fine. I mean, I had no issues fishing with this bait, but there's just a lot more to it. So that was the desert rig. And they kind of designed these for California and Arizona. So California has a 3-hook rule, Arizona has a 2-hook rule, which works great for me because Nebraska has a 2-hook rule, South Dakota has a 3-hook rule. So like these are the right ones for me to use. The next one is called the Cali rig. This is the 3-hook rig. And I'll pop this one out and show you. When you get these, they're collapsed, you know. So, you know, they're real, you know, compact and kind of smashed in. All you do is just bend the wires out a little bit to whatever you wish for the spread to be. So there's each one of the rigs that they make, they have a bladed version and a non-bladed version. So what I did, I bought 2 2-hook rigs and 2 3-hook rigs. And I got the bladed and the non-bladed. On Tackle Warehouse, the non-bladed ones were like $25 and the bladed ones were $29. So actually they're pretty reasonable. Not bad at all. The other thing about these rigs compared to other rigs is they do not have a clip. They have an actual split ring on there to hook your jig head to, which is a little more difficult than the clip. But it's probably a lot more reliable than the clip. This isn't going to open up near as easily as a clip would, so a little bit stronger for sure. So on this 3-hook rig, the longest hook or the longest wires for the hook, and that's in the center. There's 2 other hooks down here, and then you have 2 hitchhikers up here on the top side. So when it runs, 2 hooks at the bottom, 1 hook in the middle further back, and the 2 hitchhikers up top. So I have one rigged up here, and this is also the Strike King Squadron jig heads. They're 1/8 ounce. I actually took a 5-pack. Let's see, I have one here. Where'd I put it? Oh, right here. This is they come like this. This is these are 1/4 ounce, but I had a pack with 1/8 ounce. And I used 3 of the jig heads on this and 2 on the other one. And then I used all of the swim baits on this one, and then I put some different swim baits on the other one. So as you can see, that one's longer. These 2 are also your hook, and then your hitchhikers are your shortest ones, which is good because they're less likely to hit the hitchhikers and more likely to hit the ones with hooks. And once again, this is essentially the same rig without the blades, and you can see the difference. I mean, this one is quite a bit longer, the other one. There you go. I have one, same one with blades, without blades, with blades. So there we go. All right, guys. Well, I'm really excited to fish these. You know, using an Alabama rig or an umbrella rig is something that's new to me. They've been around for a long time, but I've just never really used them. They've really started to adapt these different rigs for states that have limitations. You know, most Alabama rigs have 5 hooks on them, and they've adapted these to have, you know, 2 and 3 right out of the package. Now, you can modify. You know, I have some other A rigs. There's a 3-hook rig. This is a Strike King, and this is a what is it? A 5-hook. But you can just add some hitchhikers and use hitchhikers instead of hooks. Sometimes it doesn't work the best just because how the rig is designed and you know, how it's going to swim with where the weight is. So I really like these that are designed for it. They're gonna run right. They're designed to run with 2 and 3 hooks. So pretty excited to get them out there and try them. All right, guys, if you're new to my channel, please subscribe, hit that little bell down there so you don't miss anything. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.